The beginning is half of the whole. That's a really famous quote by Plato, an ancient Greek philosopher that basically expresses the importance of starting off something on the right foot. Although this is a quote meant for life, it is pretty accurate for football as well. Start off the game properly, and you're probably going to sustain that level of performance throughout the whole 90 minutes. This might not always be the case, but hey, if you're serious about the game, you just want to maximize your potential. So let's go over 4 things you can do in the first 10 minutes of a game to set you up for greater success. The first thing you can do is an opposition analysis. Let me be more specific though. First things first, opposition analysis is a task you probably should complete prior to the game as part of your preparation, not in-game. The last thing you want is to head into kickoff knowing nothing about your opponent's style of play, strengths, and weaknesses. Instead, go over some game footage, notice the most common patterns of their game, and take notes. Once the game starts, all you gotta do is observe the opposition and confirm that what you and your team have studied the past few days is correct and that you can proceed as planned. The reason you wanna do that quote-unquote double check is that many teams like to adjust and change their approach leading up to a game based on their opponent's strengths and weaknesses. Watch out for formation changes, player and position swaps, attacking combinations, and defensive automations, as well as cues the opposing coaching staff is giving out to players. Nothing fancy, nothing sophisticated. Just observe, adjust if needed, and let your team know about the things you've observed so everyone can adjust. Otherwise, stick to the game plan you worked on the whole week as a team. The next thing you can do is similar to the first task I mentioned, but this time the analysis is done on your direct opponents. Although similar, these 2 tasks are totally different. A team's performance and the game plan they follow is a universal act that almost every player on the team will commit to. On the other hand, a player's performance can fluctuate and change from game day to game day. Just like you did the team analysis prior to the game, you can also analyze your direct opponents before the game and then confirm their strengths and weaknesses on game day. It's one thing to watch them perform, and another thing to feel and interact with them on the field. Apart from noticing and confirming their technical, physical, and tactical strengths and weaknesses, I'm also talking about their personality and mentality. What sets them off? How do they act when something's not working in their favor? What are their mental triggers and how can you control them? Their on-field presence really offers you the best insight into their game. So, study them before the game and really go deep into their performance on game day. Maybe they had a minor injury this week that you can take advantage of, or you can see or sense that they're having a bad day. Recognize the small details and the small signs and take advantage of everything you can. And now number 3, micro successes, aka slowly building up your confidence by succeeding in mini tasks that are low to moderate risk and give you a low to moderate reward. This could literally be anything, from a simple pass to a mental trigger you use to reinforce a good habit in your game. It just needs to be simple and straightforward. Try to minimize risky plays and actions in those first 10 minutes, especially if you're an individual that is struggling with confidence and emotional control. These are 2 things you definitely need to address outside of the game, but until then, try to slowly build up your confidence and avoid crushing it down from the beginning by taking risky actions that lead to micro losses, because these small losses can lead to self-doubt. Instead, focus on winning small and try to lower the risk of your actions if possible during those first 10 minutes of the game. Because as you know, half of the battle is won with the mind. By making those small wins, you're basically building up your confidence. That increase in confidence can help you achieve greater success even in those high-risk plays your team needs you. It's plain logic. Apart from that though, letting the first 10 minutes of the game be less intense and accumulative allows you to gradually build up a rhythm in your game and keep it steady for the whole 90 minutes. And finally, number 4, start building good habits right off the bat. This could be anything, from being vocal and communicating properly to performing tactical automations you're struggling with and scanning the field more or better. The thing I want you to do is to discover 2 or 3 weaknesses of your game. I'm talking about details here that you know for a fact can help you perform better. I'm challenging you to find those details and commit to them from the first second of the game. Details get you results. And a quick disclaimer here, always, and I mean always, stick to your team's game plan. What I mean by this is that if the tips you got from this video are contradictory to your coach's feedback and game plan, then completely ditch my tips and stick to what your coach tells you to do. Now, if you would like to optimize your performance and become a better footballer, either consider working with us one-on-one or watch this video next. Until the next time, guys, have a good one.